Hi, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, and now we're going to be talking about house cleaning difficulties and how these are relevant to basically obtaining Social Security disability benefits. Now, during the hearing, the ALJ hearing, Administrative Law Judge hearing, if you're not sure what that is, just Google it. There's a billion people who have done videos on that. It's like the most basic thing ever. Well, I guess not, but whatever. So, house cleaning difficulties. When you're in your hearing, the judge is going to ask you basics about house cleaning. Okay, so let's start with some of those questions. Do you have a hard time reaching upwards, like if you were going to be dusting? Do you have a hard time bending downwards, like you had to pick something up, roll a carpet up? Do you have a hard time holding a duster? Do you have a hard time being around dust? That goes into environmental restrictions. Do you have a hard time moving furniture? Yeah, a lot of you guys do. Do you have a hard time to dust in between things, getting precision with your hand, moving your arm, things like that? Do you have a hard time climbing up on things? Okay, so let's say you had to get something on the wall and it was higher up, or you had to adjust something, etc. Or you had to just basically clean something up high. Do you have a hard time keeping up with general cleaning, right? Are you depressed? Do you just not want to interact with your house and do things? Are you constantly, trying to get something done, but you just can't follow through due to anxiety, depression, schizoaffective, whatever? Is it hard to clean out things, right? So do you have a hard time getting in between and getting, let's say that you had to go up to your stairs if you had stairs, and you had to go ahead and clean in between each object of the staircase, where they have those little rungs, and click, 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 click with the duster, and you had to do that repetitive motion over and over again. Would that cause you problems? Okay, do you have a hard time using a vacuum, pushing it forward, pulling it backwards? Is it hard to lift up for you? Is it too heavy? Because remember, we're looking at, okay, can you lift 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 30 pounds, 35 pounds, etc. Is it hard to maneuver the vacuum, right? So do you have a difficult time using your shoulders? Do you have a difficult time maneuvering the wand of the vacuum? Okay. Do you have a hard time using the hose attachment? Do you have a hard time keeping your balance while you're vacuuming, right? Do you have a hard time using the attachments, clicking them together, fine manipulative features of pushing little buttons in, etc.? Or grasping, groping, where you take the general object and not groping, I guess it would be, what is it called? It's grasping and the general, I'm forgetting because I'm tired and doing this on Saturday morning because I couldn't do it last night, where you basically put it together for a gross manipulative function. And what you're doing is click, right? But then if you have to remove it, push that button in. That's fine manipulative functioning. Okay. Is it hard for you to carry a vacuum upstairs? Is it hard for you to carry yourself upstairs, right? Did you ever purchase or use one of those stair climber things where basically you sit in the chair and it takes you right up, a little stair elevator? Okay, is it hard for you to use a carpet cleaner, vacuum on carpet, as opposed to like tile? Because remember, when you use it on tile, it's a lot simpler and easier because it just comes back and forth. But with the carpet, it kind of grabs a little bit. These are all great things to use for testimony, so just think about them. Is it hard to use on particularly dusty areas? So if you swish something and it goes and it's all over the place, do you start to have environmental restrictions where you have a difficult time interacting with it? All right, so let's talk about like mopping. Is it hard to fill a water bucket? Is it hard to lift that water bucket? How heavy is that water bucket that you're able to lift? A lot of people have those, 5-pound buckets, 10-pound buckets, 15-pound buckets, 50-pound buckets, etc. Well, a 50-pound bucket you're not going to be, usually lifting up if you're disabled, but we'll go from there. Is it hard to push a mop outward? Because remember, that's different bodily function than pulling a mop towards you, okay? Is it hard not to fall while you're mopping, right? So if you're one of those individuals that has terrible balance and you're mopping, you're throwing your balance into the equation of you moving the mop around. Is it hard? So with the mopping, is it hard to stand for 15 minutes at a time? Because remember, you're always throwing your balance around while you're mopping. Is it hard to mix the soap with the water? And that's a lot of things that are there. You could do, 12.0 based mentality issues where you just, don't mix the proper amount. You screw it up. You have to be shown over and over. Or it could be just that you cannot, properly lift the amount of soap solution, or you can't remember all the different solutions that have to go into it. Let's say that there's 4 solutions. You've got to mix a certain amount. It's like, 4 over 1 of this, 3 over 1 of that, 2 over 1 of that, and there you go. Is it hard to grasp the handle? Do you have a difficult time holding on to it? Is it one of those things where you drop the handle? Do you have a hard time cleaning with the mop into corners? So you got to get into the corners, and that's where you pick it up and you drop it in the corner, and then you drag it away. Do you have a hard time pouring out the bucket after you're done with it, right? So when you're finished with it, you pick up that bucket and you have to pour it out. These are all things that you could be asked about in your hearing, and they're relevant because, bottom line, you have to think and know, Are these things difficult for me? So when the judge asks you, well, you have any difficult cleaning? You just, the stupid thing you could do, and a lot of you do this, I don't know why, is you go, no, nope. And then I'm sitting there thinking, well, now I got to beat them up. You said you didn't have any difficulty with cleaning, but let's talk about that. Tell me about mopping. You do any mopping? Oh, no, I don't do any mopping. Why don't you do any mopping? Oh, I fall down sometimes. Well, then that's important. And we go through the whole yada yada with that. So, anyways. All right, let's talk about cleaning bottles. They're all in those spritzer cans nowadays because they don't want to sell us the big bottle and then we buy the separate spritzer. They want us to basically buy a bunch of spritzers and spend a lot of money stupidly. So, is it hard for you to pull the trigger on the spritzer bottle? Is it hard to be around fumes? Is it hard to lift liquid containers? Is it hard to see mist spots? Is it hard to remember to clean certain areas? Do you forget? Do you just not care? Okay. Is it hard for you to refill the spritz bottle? A lot of people have a difficult time pouring things into things. So just kind of think of all these things as difficulties when it comes to developing your testimony before the administrative law judge, because ultimately, when you're in that hearing, you'll probably just, some people get tired and they're like, I don't want to be right? So they get to that point because there's usually 4 to 5 sections to each one of these hearings, which means that basically an individual will go ahead and go and do the intro section. I swear to tell the truth. The testimony section, direct cross-examine from the attorney and the judge as to the claimant's testimony. Then the vocational expert section, judge asks hypos, I cross-examine. And then we go to the outro section. Thanks for coming in. Go away, right? That's the usual yada. So with that said, these are great questions to be asked for the house cleaning difficulty questions relevant to whether or not you can actually clean your house, your apartment, your trailer, your whatever. Okay. We're going to be doing another video. The next video we're going to be working on is human accessory difficulties, kind of like clothes and shoes and stuff. So stick around for that. If you want a video made, go to the website. There's a list blog situation there where you can just put in what kind of video you want me to make next. There's like 80 videos that I know people want me to make at this point. I will get to them as soon as I can. With that said, in addition to this, if you'd like the most up-to-date information, give me a call or shoot me an email. If you'd like for me to kind of go through your situation with you, that's fine. Just give me a call or shoot me an email. My name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Check the bio information below for contact stuff, and we'll go from there. All right, have an absolutely wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.